Well, welcome back, everyone, to Mather Park at Case Western Reserve University. It is game 2 of a doubleheader day today here at Mather Park. The Violets of NYU, New York University, in town to take on the Spartans of Case Western Reserve University. 3-game weekend series. If you're just joining us for game 3, the Spartans have won the first 2. They won 9-1 on Friday afternoon. A 5-inning 2-hitter thrown by Lexi Miskey and Dev Misra. And then they won in game 1 today 5-0. Complete game, no-hitter by Kylie Hosey. Miskey will start game 2, and there's the first pitch for a strike. Sienna Kiefer will lead it off for NYU. Kiefer 0 for 3 in game 1 today. Miskey's second offering. That's high for ball 1. I got to believe that Lexi Miskey's coming into this game with a little bit of extra energy. Loves her teammate Kylie Hosey, learns to change up from her, and watching her throw a no-hitter. I mean, Lexi's a happy person anyways. I don't know that I've met a happier person than Lexi Miskey. She's always smiling, saying hello. And she's got to be really pumped after watching Hosey throw that no-hitter. 1-2 on Kiefer. Miskey looking in. Here comes the pitch. And that's a changeup. And that's beautiful. And that's strike 3.
Now batting, number 22, Nicole Cicchetti.
Nicole Cicchetti hit number 2 again today. It's going to be a common refrain when I refer to game 1. All of the NYU Violets will be 0 for something. That's how it works when a no-hitter is thrown. Miskey on the ear coming into this start is in her 21st appearance. This is her 18th start. Lexi on the ear has been involved in 14 decisions. She's got 11 wins, 3 losses. Ball's got some movement on it. It's ball 2. Nicole Cicchetti, the sophomore shortstop for this Violet softball team. Pitch is inside. Miskey's down 3-0. Caitlin Lamb behind the plate. Infield, as it always is. Biz Berry, the junior at third. Karen Potts, the sophomore shortstop. The grad student, Kai Gross at second base. And the senior, Bella Russo at first. And there's strike 1. Lamb, a senior behind the plate. Miskey, a senior in the circle. I was just talking to some parents about the group of players that are going to have to be replaced after this year, and it's significant, and it's right here in the middle and right side of the infield. Catcher, pitcher, second baseman, first baseman. All gone. This is their swan song. Boy, but what a career they have had. 3 straight University Athletic Association championships. 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances last year. Made it to the College World Series, finished 7th in the country. And that's Miskey to Russo for the second out of the inning.
Now batting, number 21, Florida.
I made the point yesterday when I was talking about Coach Henry, and she'll have an opportunity. Fast Eddie Karakas and I, the sports information director, figured it out. She'll have an opportunity to get her 400th career win this year. And I mentioned the fact that, and Eddie goes, man, it seems like she just had her 300th career win. And I go, well, she did. Because in the last 3 years, this Spartan team has won 108 games. And there's a base hit to left field. So there will be no no-hitter in game 2. And I'm glad we got that away off the board early. In the last 3 years, this Spartan softball team has won 108 games going into this year. That's a lot. And that's back to the point about those seniors and the grad student Gross that I mentioned. Miskey and Lamb and Hosey, Russo, Gross. That's not even counting the 18 wins that they have this year. So Josie Henry with 18 is at 389. So she's 11 away from 400 for her career. The leader of this softball program. 1-0 pitch, ground ball to Potts. Play at second with Gross, and that'll wrap the inning. 3 outs, 1 hit, 1 left on, no runs. We go to the bottom of the first. NYU nothing. Case Western Reserve coming to bat. Bottom half of the first inning. Karen Potts will lead it off for Case Western. It's Karen's birthday. Happy birthday to Karen Potts, the Spartan sophomore shortstop. Karen's got a lot of fun side stories about her. She's a ninja warrior. I mean, she's a nationally recognized, that national TV series. She's somebody you want her on your team if you're doing anything athletic. There's a base hit. She also is the cousin of Will Howard, Ohio State's national championship quarterback. Karen's mom and Will's mom are first cousins, so Karen and Will are technically second cousins. Both families from Pennsylvania. And, you know, it was fun. You heard Karen, it was hard for them to root as Penn State Nittany Lion fans against Penn State this year, but they had to because family was quarterbacking the Buckeyes. This is Biz Berry at the plate, and the 0-1 pitch is outside for ball 1. Karen Potts is 20 today. I can tell you this. It was 40 years ago that I celebrated my 20th birthday. So it's been a while since 20's been in my vocabulary. Two balls and a strike to Biz Berry. Shows bunt, drops it, and out at first. It was a tough handle for Olivia De Hessela, but she got it and finished the play, and there's 1 out in the inning. This is Kai Gross. Kai was 1 for 2 in game 1, scored 2 runs. Had a single, got hit by a pitch, and grounded out. Off-speed pitch. This is Carly Cleaver in the circle for NYU. Carly, win-wise, is the top pitcher for this NYU team this year. She's got 5 wins, 7 losses. NYU 9-19 on the year. Fastball for a strike. Her earned run average, 2.83. Coming into this start, she's thrown 69 in a third innings. That's more than anybody else on the team. And that's Kai Gross. That's a line drive, and that's a well-played out in right field. Nice catch out there in the outfield by Nia Schubel. 2 outs in the inning. Even Kai Gross's outs this year are hard hit. Bella Russo did a little bit of everything in game 1. She scored 2 runs, she had a base hit, she hit a home run, and maybe most importantly, she delivered freshly grilled hot dogs to the press box in between games. That is the most important thing she will have done at this point today. We want to thank Bella Russo for those fabulous grilled hot dogs that she brought up to the press box between games 1 and 2 today. Ball and a strike on the senior first baseman. 2 outs in the inning. It's a scoreless game. We're just in the bottom half of the first. That's Potts on at second. And Russo looks at ball 2, low and inside. Cleaver, in 69 innings, has struck out 38 batters. She's walked only 7. Just 7 walks in 69 and a third innings coming into today's start. The 2-1 pitch. That was a tempting changeup that Russo laid off, and it's called for strike 2. Counts full. And that is a rare sight. That is a walk by Carly Cleaver. And now her 70th inning of pitching this season. That's only her 8th walk. That'll bring the senior catcher to the plate, and Caitlin Lamb. Lamb 1 for 1 in game 1. She had a sac fly RBI in her first at bat, walked in her second, and then had a solid single to left in her third. What a senior season Caitlin Lamb's having. I mean, she has really become a threat at the plate. Lamb's hitting .311, nearly 25 hits, 14 runs batted in. Takes high heat for ball 2. And behind the plate, she's been absolutely outstanding. Fast Eddie Karakis, the sports information director, was pointing out, I don't know what her percentage is of throwing out would-be base stealers, but it's pretty good. I think Eddie's going to look it up. She's been very good. That's a off-speed pitch. Drops in for a strike. Let's take a look at this stat sheet here.
30%.
She has thrown out 30% of would-be base stealers. And that's strike 3. Another nice changeup. Saw a lot of those in game 1 from Kylie Ozzie. We head to the top of the second. Game scoreless. Top of the second from Mather Park. Scoreless game. It's Lexi Miskey, talented senior in the circle for the Spartans. De Hasela at the plate. Played left field in the first two games, is at first base in the afternoon game today. Olivia 0 for 2. Actually, Olivia in game one, the pitch from Miskey is high for ball 2. Hit a ground ball, routine ground ball to Karen Potts at shortstop in the second inning. One that Potts mishandled and couldn't get her out at first. It went for an error. And then she was doubled up a batter later at second base. De Hasela was the only player to reach base in Kylie Hosey's start in game one. 7 innings, full game. Hosey allowed only one runner to reach base, and she was promptly doubled up. So Hosey faced 21 batters and got 21 outs. She got a no-hitter. Didn't get the perfect game because of the error. But what a special sight it was, and we were all here to witness it. That's the first out of the inning there as Nyla Durham comes in and catches that pop-up. It's Kylie's second no-hitter in her career. She threw one against John Carroll here at Mather Park her first year. This is Cleaver at the plate, the opposing pitcher. So it's pitcher against pitcher. Carly Cleaver on the year, 10 hits and 35 at-bats coming into this afternoon's start. Hitting .286 on the season. One ball, 2 strikes from Miskey. A year ago, Miskey was second-team All-American, first-team All-Region. That was the second time in a row, her sophomore and her junior year, that she was first-team All-Region. And speaking of times in a row, a year ago she was the UAA Pitcher of the Year and All-UAA First Team, and that was 3 straight years. Pitcher of the Year freshman year, Pitcher of the Year sophomore year, Pitcher of the Year her junior year. To say Lexi Miskey has left her mark on this Spartan program and University Athletic Association would be an understatement. There's been nobody better. Two pitch is fouled back. Miskey's from New York, Pittsford, New York. Pitched high school softball at Pittsford Mendon. Cleaver, this one's a tough one, and it's going to be a base hit. That's just a little nubber, a spinner at the end of the bat. Barely got any aluminum on it, but it was enough to stay in play, and it turns into a, I don't know, maybe 15-foot base hit. It's 60 feet from home plate to first base and maybe a 20-footer. What do you think, Fast Eddie? In the box score, it'll say a base hit. Could have been a line shot off the wall. So 1 on, 1 out. This is Barbieri at the plate. Emily Barbieri fouls it off, counts 0-2.
Ladies and just a reminder, please return all foul balls to the white pipe that is mounted on the screen by the first base dugout. Thank you.
In Miskey's high school season, her senior season at Pittsford Mendon in New York. She had a 1.76 earned run average, and she struck out 147 batters. That's a little reach for a pop-up. Russo under it in foul territory. It's the second out of the inning. And here's the thing that I always find interesting about when athletes go from high school to college. If you're a pitcher, and actually a lot of times in high school right now, they don't allow pitchers to hit, which I always find interesting because oftentimes it's maybe your best athlete on the team. Lexi in high school hit 415 her senior year, but she hasn't sniffed an at-bat here at Case Western Reserve. One thing that she does do is pinch run, and she's very fast. And she really wants to hit, Fast Eddie tells me. .415 in high school. Thank you, Lexi, but we're not going to allow you to hit here at Case Western Reserve. She has done just fine in the circle, though. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maybe, since it's her final year, that Coach Henry will find it in her heart at some point. Did Otto Pennica just say that? To let her bat in a game. Off speed, staying alive in the batter's box is the third baseman, Victoria Negron. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second, scoreless game. And that's strike 3. And that's the end of the inning. Bottom of the second is next. Spartans looking for their first run in a scoreless game. Bottom half of the second here from Mather Park. In the batter's box for Case Western, Lacey Laura, a first-year catcher out of Bakersfield, California. Lacey played her high school ball at Stockdale, and that is strike 1. If you look at Lacey's numbers on the season, she has now appeared in 19 of the 23 games. Actually, she's appeared in 23 of the 26 games. She's started in 19 of them. She's hitting .279. The 1-2 pitch, tighten inside, and that's a called strike 3. So Cleaver with back-to-back strikeouts. She ended the first striking out Caitlin Lamb, and now gets Laura looking. Ashley Miller, another first-year player, stepping to the plate for the Spartans. Cleaver, the pitcher, is a sophomore. A year ago, she started in 15 games. She led the team in wins with 5. Innings pitched with 82, and she struck out 43. Led the team in all of those categories: wins, innings pitched, and strikeouts. And she's their top pitcher again this year. That's a little nubber. And that's a base hit. That is speed to burn down the first baseline, Ashley Miller.
Now batting, number 16, Nyla Durham.
That is one of those balls that just kind of falls in the Bermuda Triangle of the infield where nobody's at, and then it had a little extra back end spin on it, and it really made it tough. And Miller's on with a base hit. Nyla Durham's at the plate. Let's see if Miller steals. And the reason I asked that question, well, I take that back. It's Durham at the plate who's got the most steals with 13, but Miller's been successful in 2 of 3 attempts. 1-0 pitch is called strike on the outside corner. Nyla Durham on the year, hitting .237, 14 hits and 59 at bats. She has scored 15 runs. So when she's on, she has made the most of it. Oftentimes a stolen base in scoring position and coming home on a base hit. Shows bunt right back to the pitcher. Second out of the inning.
Now batting, number 5, Kate Coonan.
I guarantee you Nyla Durham wants that one back. She had too much on it, and that was just a simple out. She's a talented bunter. So Miller's on at second. There are 2 outs in a scoreless game. We're in the bottom half of the second, and this is Coonan at the plate. Kate Coonan's in left field on defense for the Spartans. She'd love to get a 2-out base hit outside part of the plate. Called for a ball, counts even at 1. Spartans trying to win their 19th game of the year. Trying to win their 6th in UAA play. If you're keeping track of the UAA, Case Western in 3rd place right now, 5-3 behind Emory, who's 7-3, and behind the association leader, the Bears of Washington University out of St. Louis. WashU is 8-1. Ground ball, deep shot. Cicchetti going to have to make a strong throw, and she does. That was beautiful, and the inning's over. We head to the top of the 3rd. Game still scoreless. Top half of the 3rd here at Mather Park. The sun's coming out. It is supposed to be, actually, a really nice sunny afternoon. Starting at 3 o'clock, it's supposed to be solid sun. There's debate in the press box now whether the sun is actually out. It is out. Celebrate it. It's a little bit, behind us right now because it's, 2:30 in the afternoon, so. But it's there. 2 balls and no strikes on Carson from Lexi Miskey. Mather Park is not far away. It's a very short walk, actually, to the Cleveland Botanical Gardens and the Cleveland Art Museum. And right now, the spring blossoms around the Botanical Garden and the Art Museum at Wade Oval are just in full bloom. Cherry blossoms, I know Washington has, everything there by their Memorial Park. 2 hopper to Potts. Potts to Gross first out of the inning, but Cleveland's Wade Oval and Art Museum has a beautiful display of cherry blossoms in the spring too, and they are in full bloom right now. Actually walked over there yesterday after the Friday afternoon game. Kiefer at the plate. Sienna is the leadoff hitter for NYU. And she's been up 4 times this afternoon in now her second game and has struck out twice. Speaking of strikeouts, Miskey a year ago had a program record 249 strikeouts in 192 innings. That broke a program record that she had set the year before when she struck out 207 in 150 innings. That was her sophomore year. Then her freshman year, her first year here, she struck out 159 in 138 innings. So Miskey is a strikeout machine. Single season strikeout record holder, program career record holder. Went 26-6 her junior year, 23-3 her sophomore year, and was 16-6 her first year. And this year she's 11-3. You could say, and you would not have much of an argument, she is the best pitcher in the history of the program. Ground ball to Barry. Biz across the field. Barry to Russo. 2 up and 2 down. That brings Nicole Cicchetti to the plate. Cicchetti, the 2-hole hitter, grounded back to the pitcher in her first at bat. Spartans will be home next weekend. Easter weekend, we'll find them here at Mather Park. Fast Eddie Karakas will be bringing you the play-by-play for the games on Easter weekend. Miskey's 1-1 pitches inside for ball 2. It's fun watching Fast Eddie call play-by-play because he's also the sports information director. So he's speaking with his mouth, he's typing with his fingers, and he's thinking with his mind all at the same time. And he's sending out updates and reports and statuses on social media while at the same time letting you know what's happening here on the online broadcast. Eddie, I think athletic director T.J. Shelton ought to pay you more. Athletic Director TJ Shelton is sitting behind me as I say that. So. He got a cookie today. Fast Eddie got a cookie today. And a donut. Did you get a hot dog? Bella Russo, the senior first baseman, brought us up hot dogs in between games, and she grilled them. She delivered them. She even brought up mustard and ketchup for TJ and Otto. Bella brought up mustard and ketchup, and Otto said, "Where's the relish?" Man, the thanks you get. So that's a walk to Sacchetti, and that brings up Corey with 2 outs. Alyssa Corey, 0 for 3 in game 1, 2 strikeouts. Kylie Hosey had her spinning in her cleats in the batter's box with that changeup. Lamb's going to let that one go foul, and that's a good decision. Boy, it was fun watching Kylie Hosey throw that changeup in game 1. It's always fun watching Hosey throw the change because it's amazing. But in game 1, she had players just frozen in their cleats and with no shot. 7 innings pitched, didn't give up a hit, didn't walk a batter, struck out 5. So this is power on power right here, Miskey and Corey. And the count's 0-2 in favor of the senior in the circle. As I look out at the defense right now, and the temperature today is, I don't know, mid-40s. There's a little bit of a breeze, so it feels a lot colder. There are 3 holdouts that haven't gone to the pullover. Miskey, the pitcher, Lamb, the catcher, and the right fielder, Miller. They've got just long sleeves on their jersey. Now, Caitlin Lamb, you could say, listen, Caitlin's wearing a nice warm helmet mask, and she's got that chest protector on, so she's warm. And Miskey's in the circle, and she's throwing on every pitch, so her body temperature's ramped up. So we're going to give the Courageous Cold Award to Ashley Miller, the right fielder, today, because she's standing out there in right field. And in a 7-inning game, how many balls are you going to get hit in right field? Maybe 2? Maybe. Not much. So I think if we have an award for bearing the cold, it should go to Ashley Miller. Ground ball, second base, Gross trying to end the inning, and she will. Miller's going to come in, get warmed up. Her Spartans are going to try to get on the board. We go to the bottom of the 3rd in a scoreless game. Birthday girls at the plate. Karen Potts. Fast Eddie Karakas, the sports information director, has informed me in between innings that Potts has now been on base safely in 23 straight games. She had a base hit in the first inning. And in the 26 games, now the 27th that Case is playing in on the season, Potts has been on base in all but one of them. And she's been on base in 23 in a row. Ground ball, second base. Nice hop, and that's an easy out. Great job so far in the circle by Carly Cleaver. She has been outstanding. Facing the meat of the order in this inning. Potts, the leadoff hitter, now Biz Berry in the 2 slot. Berry had a sac bunt in the first inning, got Potts to second, and that's where Karen stayed. She was not driven in. Both teams with 2 hits. Spartans had 14 hits yesterday afternoon in a 9-1 win. They had 9 hits in the first game today and a 5-0 shutout, a no-hitter by Kylie Hosey. They've got 2 so far in this game. No runs yet, though. Cleaver against Berry. The 0-1 pitch, here it comes.
It's 2-2. Sorry, we're talking about Disneyland over here. 2-2. It's going. Okay.
Alyssa Corey is behind the plate for Game 3 today. She played first base in the first 2 games. The 2-2 pitch. Berry, line drive, left field line. That'll fall for a base hit. So Berry, with a nice piece of hitting in a 2-2 count, is on with an out. 1 out in the inning. Kai Gross at the plate. Kai Gross in Game 1 today, 1 for 2, scored 2 runs. Base hit, hit by a pitch, grounded out to second. Kai on the year, after 26 games, hitting .465. I joked with her in between games. I saw her. I said, Kai, you lead this team in almost every offensive category, and I'm close to true. Leads the team in batting average, leads the team in runs scored, hits, doubles, triples, homers, runs batted in, total bases, and slugging percentage. She doesn't lead the team in at-bats. Biz Berry does with 91. And she doesn't lead the team in stolen bases. Nyla Durham does. She's got 13. But Kai's right behind her with 9. So I asked her, I said, when are you going to do something? Takes a strike. It's 2 balls and a strike. You're like, when are you going to earn your spot? Cleaver against Gross. NYU's best pitcher against Case Western's best hitter. And that's strike 2. Guy didn't like it, thought it was high. Here comes the 2-2 pitch with 1 out and a runner on. Change up that Gross stayed away from. But Kai really had a beat on that. She was not out on her front foot, had that spotted right away. Counts full. That's foul down the left field line. The hardy are here today. People that don't mind the cold. It is not warm. There are stocking caps, gloves, parkas, hoodies. There's a dude in shorts in front of me, though. Nick, got to be one of your football teammates, I'm guessing. Nick knew who, number 70. Yes, it is a football teammate. Kai Gross. That's a solid single. Back-to-back singles to left for the Spartans with one out here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting, number 11, Bella Russo.
That brings the senior first baseman to the plate. There's always one in the crowd. There's always one that's wearing shorts, especially on a college campus. Yep. Russo, first pitch swinging. Bella walked in her first at bat. In game one today, she was 2 for 2. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, a walk, and she hit a home run. Hit it over the left center field. And there's a solid single to left, down the line. It's going to score a run, rounding and scoring. And the Spartans with Biz Berry are up 1-0. So Russo comes through again. Berry, Gross, and Russo, 3 straight singles to left field. And Caitlin Lamb will step to the plate.
They don't signal it. It's true.
Now batting, number 2, Caitlin Lamb.
I'm just in the habit.
So for Kai Gross, or rather Bella Russo, that was her 22nd run batted in on the year. Second on the team to Kai Gross with 26. Russo's on at first. Kai Gross is on at second, and this is Caitlin Lamb at the plate. That's a pop-up, and that will stay in play. That's the second out of the inning. That's tough work over there at first base by Olivia De Hessela.
Now batting, number 15, Lacey Lara.
So it's up to Lacey Laura with now 2 outs in the inning and a runner in scoring position to add to the Spartan lead. Lacey struck out in her first at bat. Got caught looking. And she looks at strike one. I don't know if you can hear the chant from the Spartan dugout, but it's rather catchy. Go, Lacey, go, Lacey, go, Lacey, go. Go, Lacey, go. I'll be saying that in my sleep tonight. I have 4 children, 3 of which are daughters, so I coached a lot of youth softball. And coaching those youth softball games, you get all sorts of chants, and you literally do wake up in the middle of the night singing those chants. Pitch inside, did it hit her? It did. And Lacey Laura is going to go down to first base. That'll load the bases.
Now batting, number 22, Ashley Miller.
So Gross goes to third. Russo goes to second. Laura is at first after the hit by pitch. And Ashley Miller's at the plate. Miller had a base hit. It was an infield base hit in her first at bat. Right side. First year hitter at the plate. Little ground ball, that's tough. That's going to stay fair, and Miller beats it out at first base. Ashley Miller legging it out. Infield single and scores a run.
Number 16, Nyla Durham.
Gross scored on it. With 2 outs, the runners are off the crack of the bat. And that brings Nyla Durham to the plate. Durham, another speedster. First pitch underneath the elbow. It's strike one. Nyla hugging the plate. That one almost hit her lead elbow. That's how close she is. This one's high. It's ball one. Durham, the sophomore, started in right field last year for Coach Henry. There's a bunt. That one's right back to the mound, and that's an easy out. And that'll end the inning. Spartans get 2, though. They break the ice first. It's 2-0 Case Western Reserve as we head to the top of the 4th.
For New York, number 00, Naya Schubel.
Naya Schubel will lead off the top half of the 4th inning for the Violets of New York University. Schubel, 00 on the back of that black NYU jersey top. Facing Lexi Miskey in the circle. Here comes the first pitch. That's a heater for strike one. In game one, if you were listening, we wondered out loud if Otto Pennica, the Hall of Famer, the public address announcer, had his own walk-up song, what would it be? And Otto could not answer it. Miskey on a bunt, back to the pitcher and the out at first base. But in between innings, Bring Sexy Back was played. And we all agreed unanimously in the press box that Otto Pennica's walk-up song should be I'm Bringing Sexy Back. So let it be said, let it be written, let it be a rule. We just got to get Otto to the plate now. We'll see if TJ Shelton, the athletic director, can work on that. Maybe a plate appearance by Otto Pennica before the season. Does he have eligibility left? He said he never played, so he certainly has. We got 4 years of Otto left. The 0-1 pitch called for an inside strike. It's 0-2. Miskey trying to get her 12th win of the year. At the plate, Olivia De Hasella at first base today. The 0-2 pitch is high for ball one. Ball two. De Hasella flew out to center. Nyla Durham in her first at bat in the second inning. Scores 2-0. We're in the top half of the 4th. Spartans scored 2 in the bottom of the third. De Hasella battling against Miskey. Spartans defensively, they've got Coonan, a first year in left field. They've got Miller, a first year in right. Second year player Nyla Durham in center field. And that infield is loaded with veterans. The 0-2 or the 2-2 pitch. Count stays even. The youngin in the infield is the shortstop, Karen Potts. She's a sophomore. Junior Barry at third, senior Lamb behind the plate, senior Miskey in the circle, senior Russo at first, and a grad student at second. Comes to 2-2, and that is strike 3. Miskey blowing it by De Hasella.
Now batting, number 20, Carly Cleaver.
Cleaver will come to the plate. Cleaver had a base hit in her first at bat. Hit went on the end of the bat. Little nubber that just kind of spun and went about 20 feet. That was a line drive back at Miskey. Woo! Deep breath, exhale. And Lexi's going to get high fives from her teammates. Head to the dugout, and we head to the bottom of the fourth. Spartans up 2. We head to the bottom of the fourth here on a sun-splashed Saturday afternoon. The sun has worked its way out. The skies have turned blue for the most part. And the Spartans in the royal blue are having a weekend. Won 9-1 Friday afternoon. Won 5-0 in game 1 today on a no-hitter by Kylie Hosey. And they're up 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth here in game 2. That's strike 1. This is Kate Coonan at the plate. Kate 0 for 1. Grounded out to short on a real nice play by Cicchetti in her first at bat. And that is strike 2. Emory, just an update in the University Athletic Association. Washington University is off this weekend. They're 8-1 in the top spot in the UAA. Emory's 7-3. They're now 8-3. They just knocked off Chicago in game 1 of their doubleheader. But the Maroons beat them last night in Chicago. They beat Emory, gave them their 3rd loss of the year, so that puts Emory and Case Western in at least in the loss column, in a tie for 2nd place. Emory has played 3 more games than Case Western in league play.
Heads up, heads up.
Count's going to stay 0-2. Coonan, the number 9 hitter, top of the order, is next. Off speed and a good one. That was a tough one to take. I'm not sure that Coonan took it. She might have been fooled on it. It's called for a ball, but man, that was tight. Kate at the plate. Pulls it left field, deep line. Great catch out there. How about that? Sienna Kiefer, a running catch in left field, and it was a beauty.
Now batting, number 12, Karen Potts.
That one gets a double star next to it in my scorebook. It's that kind of play. Here's Potts. Off-speed pitch for strike one for Karen Potts. In right field on the new mesh here, the new royal blue mesh of the Mather Park outfield fence, they've got the UAA champions listed. 1997 for the Spartans, 98, 99. They won 3 in a row to end that century. And then 2014 in the middle, and then 3 in a row here the last 3 years, 2022, 2023, 2024. If they're to win their 4th, they're going to need a little help. They lost 2 of 3 in St. Louis earlier in the year to Washington University. Then they went down to Emory and they won 2 of 3. So they put themselves in a position, they're 2 games back in the loss column to Wash U, or actually 3 games back in the loss, no, 2 games. 2 games back in the loss column to Wash U. So they'll need some help from Emory at the end of the year. Emory and Wash U play each other at the end of the regular season. And Case Western, if they can continue to win, will need Wash U to lose 2 games. Somewhere along the way. Could happen. Count is full. And I've talked a lot about the development of Potts, in my opinion, and how, she has become more patient. Last year, oftentimes, first pitch hitter. And then statistically, I looked at it. She actually leads this team in walks with 16. And she's 1 ball away from adding to that total. Just a sophomore. Can you imagine the hitter she will be her senior season? Actually, she was in the conversation last year for Freshman Player of the Year nationally. I mean, she was that good. Didn't get it, but certainly was worthy of being talked about. Finalist? Yeah. They'll do it again. Counts full. Cleaver against Potts. Here comes the pitch. This is a long at bat.
Pitch number 9 coming up.
Pitch number 9 coming up from Fast Eddie Karakas. We need to get Eddie a T-shirt that made that says, "I know the answer already." Before you ask Eddie a question, he already has the answer for you. Pitch number 10 coming up. This little lady, there's a young girl here in attendance today, and I don't know, I'm guessing she's maybe 6. She is working the foul balls. So much so that everybody loves her so much that she doesn't even have to run and get them. Other people get them, and then they give them to her, and then she returns them to the umpire. There's a base hit. That's a well-earned base hit for Karen Potts. When I was a kid and I would get foul balls at tournament games in Grafton, they would give you a quarter for every foul ball you brought back. Man, I earned a lot of money that way as a kid. But I spent it all on candy. Red Hot Dollars. That was the kind of candy that I would eat. They were cinnamon spiced, chewy, kind of like a Milk Dud-like, texture. Licorice. Cinnamon spicy licorice in a coin shape. Fly ball to center. That's an out. Biz Berry with the out. Nice play in right field. Nia Schubel made that catch. So 2 outs in the inning. Here we are in the bottom half of the fourth. Spartans trying to add to a 2-0 lead. Gross, hard ground ball, one hopper, and it's a quick out. Olivia De Hessela making a nice play at first, and that ends the inning. We head to the top of the fifth. It's 2-0 Case Western Reserve. About ready to go here in the fifth inning. Emily Barbieri will lead off the inning for the NYU Violets. Barbieri 0 for 3 on the day, 0 for 1 in game 2. She grounded out and flew out to the infield in game 1, and then flew out to Russo at first base here in game 2. And that's strike 1 from Miskey. Miskey now in her 5th inning of work. Started this game, got a strikeout in the first. Gave up a hit and a strikeout in the second. Walked a runner in the third, and then struck out a batter in the fourth. So she's got 3 strikeouts and a walk, and has now given up 3 hits. That is a CNI single, as they say.
Now batting, number 11, Victoria Negron.
See it with my own eyes.
Victoria Negron stepping to the plate. And NYU is going to make a change on the bases. So Barbieri will not run. Coming into a run for her will be Zuli Enriquez.
Who was the number 10 hitter in the lineup? The flex. She's the flex.
She's the flex today.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now running at first base for the Violets, number 5, Zuli Enriquez.
Negron's at the plate. Enriquez is on the base. Miskey's in the circle. Little bunt. Barry. It's a gross. And the sacrifice is complete for NYU.
Now batting, number 16, Claire Carson.
Brings up the number 9 hitter in this NYU lineup, Claire Carson, the center fielder. Claire has been outstanding defensively in this series. She's a grad student anchoring the outfield. One 0 pitch is high. It's ball 2. 1 out in the inning. You see the runner on at second. That is Zuli Enriquez. Pinch hitting for Emily Barbary, who got a base hit to start this inning. Comes the 2-0 pitch from Miskey. High again, the throwback. And everybody's going to stay where they're at. Top of the order is next for NYU. Spartans holding on to a 2-0 lead, trying to sweep this weekend series against the Violets. Needed the strike, got it. Miskey needs another. And gets it. She has worked her way back. Full count pitch to Carson on its way. And that is strike 3. What a battle by Lexi Miskey.
Now batting, number 4, Sienna Kiefer.
What you doing there, chat?
Sienna Kiefer, the leadoff hitter, at the plate, hitting from the left side.
We're 4-0. Bottom 9th, 1-0, 4-0.
That's strike 1. Miskey a year ago won 26 games, lost 6 as a junior. Her sophomore year, she was 23-3, so that's 49-9. Strike 2. You add her freshman year, her first year, 16-6, so that's 65-15 in 3 years. And if she can win today, that's her 12th. That gives her 77 wins in her 4 years as a Spartan pitcher. And she's not done yet. And that's strike 3. We head to the top of the bottom of the 5th. It's 2-0 Case Western. Bellarusso will step to the plate here in the bottom half of the 5th inning with her team up 2-0 over NYU. Cleaver still in the circle for the Violets. Russo's had a pretty good career of her own here at Case Western Reserve. Her first year here, she started 37 games, hit .357. She hit 6 home runs her first year here. There's a line drive. That's fair down the right field line. Russo will hit the inside corner of the bag, and she'll head in for a double, a stand-up double to start this 5th inning for Case Western. Russo 2 for 2 this afternoon. She's had a pretty good day all around. Hit a home run in the first game. Had 2 hits. She was 2 for 2 in the first game, 2 for 2 in the second. So perfect 4-4 with 2 extra base hits, double and a homer. This brings Caitlin Lamb to the plate. Cleaver's pitch called low and outside. It's ball 1. Spartans with 8 hits. They've been spread out, though. The big inning was the 3rd inning when they scored 2. They had 3 hits in a row, Berry, Gross, and Russo. And then Miller, the freshman, had a base hit in that inning as well, knocked in a run. Lamb up in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Caitlin a year ago really became the leader behind the plate for this softball team. She was the primary catcher, and not just a catcher, but a true leader on this softball team. She made 47 starts, played in all 49 games. That's a base hit, solid hit. In the gap, right center field, rounding and scoring will be Russo. And Caitlin Lamb with a stand-up double. And that's the 100th career run scored for Bella Russo. Fast Eddie Karakas tells me, the sports information director here at Case Western Reserve. So that adds to the Russo legacy.
It's going to be a runner. Should be 3. 3, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
Lamb will come off. Tara Fritcher will run for Caitlin at second base.
Number 3, Tara Fritcher.
Fritcher, the junior. And at the plate for Case Weston, Lacey Laura.
For Case Western Reserve, number 15, Lacey Lara.
First pitch inside for a strike. Cleaver, the starter for NYU, now in the 5th. And in now this 3rd game of this 3-game weekend series. That's the longest a Violet pitcher has lasted in the circle. Nice bunt. That'll get Fritcher over to 3rd. That's the first out of the inning.
Now batting, number 22, Ashley Miller.
And that brings the first-year outfielder, Ashley Miller, to the plate. All she's done today is have 2 hits in Game 2. She was 2 for 2. Both of them have been in the infield, and one of them brought home a run.
Baseball wrap up the win 4-1.
Ground ball, third base. That one's going to be a tough out, and Miller's going to be safe. Victoria Negron had that one come up on her in a hurry.
Currently calling that an error.
Fritcher held her ground to 3rd, so Spartans will have runners in the corner.
Nyla Durham.
Nyla Durham now at the plate. Miller on with the error. Fritcher at third. Durham shows bunt. Miller goes to second, but she's going to come back as Durham fouled it off. No balls, a strike and an out. Spartans up 3-0. Bottom half of the fifth. So Durham now with two teammates in scoring position. I was watching a game on ESPN the other night. It was Oklahoma State, actually. D1 women's game. And that play, that stolen base play where you fire it to the second baseman, cutting short, which I've never seen really work. I mean, the runner at third knows it's going to happen and almost always does not run. Well, that night on that one particular play, the runner from Oklahoma was, I don't know what thinking, and ran to the plate and they threw her out. It's the only time, and I'm probably exaggerating, but it's the only time I think that I've seen that play actually work. Because typically it's not the first rodeo for the runner at third base. That pitch is high, and the count is now full. Sophomore Durham digging in. Sophomore Cleaver on the mound, ready to throw. Here it comes. And that's a pop-up. Foul territory, but the out. They groan, the third baseman pulls it in, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
Number 5, Kate Coonan.
So it's down to Kate Coonan to get a run in for the Spartans. Cleaver on the mound for NYU did not play high school softball. But found her way to the NYU campus, tried out for the team, and made it. She's their best pitcher. Has been 2 years running. Oh, and 2 on Coonan, 2 outs. Coonan does not go for the high heat. Fritcher's on at third. Miller's on at second. 2 outs, 2 on, 2 balls, and 2 strikes. This is Coonan, the number 9 hitter in this Spartan lineup. Looks at strike 3. Cleaver celebrates. Violets run off the field. They have held the Spartans scoreless, at least in the, well, no, actually. Case Western scored a run. Russo's double to lead off the inning. So we head to the top of the 6th. It's 3-0 Case Western. As we start the top of the sixth, Abby Rizzuto is now behind the plate for Case Western. Rizzuto, as she did in game one, will replace Lamb here late. This is Giacchetti at the plate. Nicole for the day in now game two, 0 for 4 with a walk. She grounded out in the first in this game and then walked in the third. Pitch from Miskey. Opportunity, and Miller will bring it in. Nice play in right field by the talented first-year player Ashley Miller.
Now batting, number 21, Alyssa Corey.
Alyssa Corey will step to the plate. Corey, a biomolecular science major at NYU. Ground ball, Russo will backhand it. It's in foul territory. Corey in her second year in this NYU program. She is a solidified number 3 hole hitter in this year's lineup. A year ago, appeared in just 12 games as a first-year player. She is lockstep in the starting lineup this year. The 1-1 pitch from Miskey. Rizzuto with a nice stop in the dirt, counts 2-1. Corey hit a single in the first and grounded out to second in the third. Alyssa's got one of the 3 Violet hits in this game. If you're counting hits for NYU, they had 2 on Friday night in a 9-1 loss. Kylie Hosey no-hit him in game 1 today. In 7 innings, struck out 5, didn't walk anybody, didn't allow a run, didn't allow a hit. And NYU with 3 hits here in the now 6th inning. That one back to Miskey, and that's the second out of the inning.
Now batting, number 00, Naya Schubel.
I don't know how Schubel got out of the way of that one, but she did. If you look at what Case Western has done coming into this weekend, if you date back to March 22nd, as Miskey throws ball 2, they had a doubleheader in St. Louis against WashU. They won the first game 4-1, lost the second one 3-2. Then they knocked off Capital twice here at home. And they beat Denison twice here at home. 8-0, 8-2, 9-1, 10-0. 4 easy games. They went down to Georgia to take on Emory. They lost the first game on a Friday, 1-0 in 9 innings. And then they won both games on Saturday. Both of them 1-run wins, 5-4, 6-5. So the Emory 3-game series was decided each game by 1 run. And now they've won 2 games in a row against NYU. So they've won 4 in a row and 8 of their last 9. And that's a walk. A 2-out walk to Schubel. Miskey on the day, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Giving up 3 hits, has yet to give up a run. First pitch to De Hasela. And that's a swinging strike. Olivia in game 2 flew out to center, second inning, struck out swinging in the 4th. Abby Rizzuto behind the plate for Case Western. Walsh Jesuit High School, Hudson, Ohio. 5th-year senior. Schubel on at first, and that's ball 2, or actually strike 2. Inside part of the plate. Miskey looking for her 6th strikeout. Lexi on the ear. If she gets the 6th, it'll be the 100th of the season for her. Did she go? I want to know if she went. Rizzuto is looking to ask, and they'll say she did not.
2-2. Get your finger on the button. My finger don't lie. That's what should have happened.
2-2 pitch. Rizzuto tried to frame it. Count goes to full. Nyla Durham playing straight up center field on Olivia De Hesela. Here comes the full count pitch, and it's high for ball 4. So a little rally here with 2 outs. Sacchetti flew out, Corey grounded out.
Now batting, number 20, Carly Cleaver.
And Schubel and De Hesela have followed with back-to-back walks. That brings to the plate the opposing pitcher, Carly Cleaver. Cleaver, in her 2 plate appearances in this game, hit a little dribbler back to the mound that went for an infield single and then hit a smoke shot line drive right back at Lexi for an out. So twice she has hit it to the circle. This one, Miller on the way. Ashley in foul territory ends the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Spartans still holding on, 3-0.
Number 12, Sharon Potts.
New pitcher for NYU as we head to the bottom half of the 6th here at Mather Park. That pitcher's Monique Kamrowski. Kamrowski wearing number 3. She pitched in game 1 in the early game today. She threw 2 innings, gave up a hit. She struck out 3, didn't walk anybody. As a matter of fact, the 3 strikeouts came in a row in the first inning of relief. Kamrowski is out of Sunnyside, New York. And that one is behind Karen Potts. If you're a pitcher, no matter how good you are, every now and then you just got to throw one like that, just to keep hitters honest. Potts rolls over, and that's an easy out to the first baseman for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 6 is Barry.
That'll bring to the plate Biz Berry. Berry, 1 for 2 this afternoon. Had a single in the third, scored a run. The 3 runs have been scored, 2 in the third and 1 in the fifth for Case Western. In the third, with 1 out, Berry got a base hit. Kai Gross followed her with a base hit. Then Bella Russo knocked in the third straight hit, and that knocked in Biz Berry. And then later in the inning, Ashley Miller had a base hit to knock in the second run. That's deep to center field. Carson back in the sun, and it glanced off her glove. And Biz Berry's going to stand up at second base with a double. Claire Carson got back but looked up and looked straight into the sun. And she's lucky it hit her glove. At this time of the afternoon, with the position of this field, that sun, as we approach 4 o'clock in northeastern Ohio, is, dropping in the west. And if you're in the outfield and you're looking towards third baseline, you're looking right into the sun. And that's exactly where Claire Carson was looking on that Biz Berry hit. So Berry's on at second, and Kai Gross is at the plate. Kai trying to add to her team-leading 26 runs batted in, and that is just inside or outside the bag at first base.
No Eric. We'll get Michael on Friday, but no Eric.
Gross today, 1 for 2 in game 1 with 2 runs scored, and she's 1 for 3 here in the afternoon set. That one will bring Biz Berry to third base. Two-one pitch to Gross. Off speed, drops low. It's ball 3. Kai a year ago was academic All-American. First team academic All-American. She was also UAA All-First Team. And that was her 3rd straight year that she has made that first team in the University Athletic Association. That's a base hit. It'll score the run. So Berry's in, and Gross with another run batted in. Four 0 Case Western. That brings Bella Russo to the plate. Gross with 27 runs batted in.
Now batting number 11, Bella Russo.
Russo right behind her. Bella's got 21 runs batted in. Actually 22. She's got 1 this afternoon in game 2. Russo's got a double and a home run today. We're in the 6th, bottom of the 6th. Spartans with a run in. They're up 4-0. And running is Gross, and Kai will slide in safely. For Kai, that's her 10th stolen base of the year. That one got her between the shoulder blades. There was no getting out of the way of that one. Russo has been on base in every at bat today, stretching over 2 games. She walked, got a base hit, hit a home run in the first game. She walked, base hit double, and hit by a pitch in game 2. Bella punished herself in game 1. She smoked a foul ball off her right foot and then wore a shin guard the rest of the game, and now got hit in the middle of the back. So Caitlin Lamb's going to bat. There are 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Lamb had a double and a run batted in her last at bat. Caitlin on the day has 2 hits, 2 runs batted in. She's walked and has struck out. Counts 2-0. Bella Hunter is in the on-deck circle right now for Case Western. If Lamb gets on, 3-0 pitch is a strike. Lamb turns on it, and that's just outside the bag at third base. The 3-2 pitch. Boy, Caitlin did a great job of waiting on an off-speed pitch. Kamrowski to Lamb. Lamb deep left center field. Gone! Caitlin Lamb, a 3-run home run, and the Spartans lead 7-0. So changes afoot. New pitcher for NYU. Jesse Worthman will pitch. We saw Jesse yesterday in the end of that afternoon game that the Spartans won 9-1. Worthman's going to go back to the circle here at the end of game 3. Spartans are run away from ending this one. If they get one more here in the 6th, the game will end. And hitting now for Case Western will be Bella Hunter. Hunter, a first-year player out of Crestwood High School in Manawa here in Ohio, not far from campus. For Bella Hunter for Case Western, this will just be her 5th plate appearance. She's got a hit. She scored a run. She has hit a double. Her one hit is a double. She knocked in a run. Has not walked and has struck out twice. Jesse Worthman in the circle. As I said, she pitched on Friday afternoon, just kind of mopping up after that at the end of that 9-1 Spartan win. On the year, this is Jesse's 13th appearance. She's 0-4 record-wise, 4.29 earned run average. 32 and 2/3 innings. She has walked 14 and struck out 22. And she's facing the first-year Bella Hunter at the plate. Just one out in the inning. Spartans are run away from ending it. The 1-1 pitch, ripped down left field line. That'll get in there. Hunter rounds first, headed to second. And the first-year outfielder with a stand-up double. Two hits, 2 doubles. It's making the most of your opportunities. Ashley Miller stepping to the plate. Miller trying to knock in her first-year teammate Hunter at second base. Ashley with 2 hits in game 2 today. She's been on base all 3 times. 2 hits and got on an error in the 5th inning. Miller fly ball, shallow center. Carson under it. She'll catch it, and Hunter will stay right there at second base. Look at that arm.
Pinch hitter here, it's going to be 8, Williams.
So 2 outs in the inning, and the game-ending runner is standing at second base. Spartans will pinch hit again. This will be Riley Williams. Riley Williams will hit. Williams from Redondo Beach, California. First-year catcher. Riley on the year. This is her 6th at bat. She has now appeared in 10 games. She's scored 4 runs, has 1 hit. No walks and has struck out twice. She gets a base hit here and Hunter can score on it. Ball game's over. Worthman in the circle. Worthman, a junior at NYU. She has pitched in every season for the Violets. That one's fouled back. The 1-1. Right back up the middle. That's going to be trouble. Can't get her at first. And Hunter holds a third. So Riley Williams is on at first, and the inning stays alive for Elena Steffes. So Steffes, the sophomore, comes to the plate.
And Durham should be running, question mark? He said 16 re-entered in the 8th spot, but she's not out there, is she?
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention.
Steffes had an at-bat in Game 1 today.
Number 19, Elena Steffes.
And Elena struck out in that at-bat. So she stands here in the bottom half of the 6th with an opportunity to end the game. Coach Henry's trying to get Durham back in there, and she does. So Nyla Durham will run at first base. She'll re-enter. Elena Steffes standing in, looking to hit. Bella Hunter at third.
No, it's just the old play.
Swing and a miss. Good swing by Elena Steffes. Worthman took a little bit off it, and Elena was just a little bit out front. So the count's 1-1. Worthman coming. Steffes with another good swing.
Coach is like, hey, you don't need to hit the ball very hard. Just get it over the outfield. Oh, no, in the park home run, the runs wouldn't count. Out of the park home run, the runs would count.
How would that get scored if she hits like to the fence and she scores? Like for Elena, would that be a single or what?
Depends on how far she would actually get.
So Steffes and head coach Josie Henry talking it over. Coach Henry obviously saying, listen, we just need a little knock. Just need a little flare,
There's a runner on second, the first, you can get a
little bloop. Don't need the big hit, meaning the home run. Just a single. Solid single ends it. Elena will defend the plate now with 2 strikes.
It's like, I don't want to throw that.
And NYU is going to talk about it.
Coach gives her the leg.
Corey out to the mound to talk to the circle, talk to Worthman. And we're ready to go. And it's strike 3. So we'll head to the 7th. Spartans 3 outs away from sweeping the series against the Violets. As we head to the top of the 7th, Case Western Reserve 3 outs away from their 19th win of the year. Up 7-0 in this Game 3 of the 3-game weekend series against New York University. Laura Mioli, the first-year right-handed hurler, now in the circle for Case Western Reserve. Mioli from Brooklyn, New York. Font Bonnie Hall Academy was where she played her high school softball.
Strike.
Emily Barbieri at the plate for NYU. Barbieri on the afternoon in Game 2, 1 for 2. Had a solid single to left in her last at bat in the 5th. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Mioli. It's in the dirt, ball 1. Mioli on the year, this is her 3rd appearance in the circle. She's thrown just 2 innings, has given up 3 hits, 1 run, it was earned, didn't walk anybody, and has struck out 1 batter. Ground ball, Bisberry. Great range, easy out. How about the play of the junior third baseman?
Now batting, number 11, Victoria Negron.
Negron now at the plate. Victoria on the day, 0 for 1 here in Game 2. Strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. She was 0 for 2 in Game 1. Had an infield flyout and a strikeout. Here's Mioli's pitch. Outside corner, that's strike 1. Lamb's back in behind the plate, catcher for Case Western. Mioli up the middle, Potts to Hopper, across the diamond to Russo, little scoop from Bella Russo. And there are 2 outs in the inning. So Mioli making quick work of the Violets right now.
Now batting, number 16, Claire Carson.
NYU down to their final out. Grad student Claire Carson stepping into the box. Carson, the center fielder. Claire 0 for 4 today. 2 ground outs to the shortstop, a fly ball to the center fielder, and a strikeout. That's in both games. This has been a weekend dominated by the Spartan pitching staff. Lexi Miskey and Dev Misra gave up only 2 hits in a 9-1 win on Friday afternoon. Kylie Hosey went a complete game, 7 innings, no hitter. 5-0 win in Game 1 today. And now it's Miskey and Mioli. And we're here in the 7th, and NYU has had only 3 hits. So the Spartans out away from allowing only 5 hits in 3 games against New York University. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, Potts backhand off one knee, strong arm, bingo, great play, and perfect to finish this game. And a weekend sweep. 7-0 the final. Spartans knock off the Violets. Case Western 3-0 against NYU this weekend from Mather Park. Thanks for joining us. We'll see everybody next weekend.